iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here, race fans, to Dover, Delaware, the Dover Motor Speedway, here tonight for round number 3 for the All-American Truck Series, here tonight at the Monster Mile for the Monster Mile 110 here tonight. These drivers have been battling for 2 weeks. We've been to Daytona, for a high-speed action. That's where Andy Lambert picked up his first career win. Then we went over to the Iowa Speedway for the Cornhusker 110, where Dustin German was able to pick up round number 2. And round number 3 right here with Dancing with Miles will be the next challenge for these drivers. My name is Roger Muth here with the Turn 3 Racing Network to bring you the racing action tonight. And right alongside with me, it's Mr. Al Smith. Al, welcome to the Turn 3 studios here high above the virtual Dover Motor Speedway for round number 3 for these truckers.
Yeah, round number 3, and I can't thank you for bringing your truck up here tonight to push the buttons to make everything work behind the scenes, but we are looking very much forward to this Monster 110, the All-American Pro Truck Series, ready to put on what will be a great action. We saw 2 weeks ago, Roger, you just clipped on it, what was an exciting race at the Iowa Speedway, but now we come to a much different racetrack, a 1-mile high-banked concrete monster that loves to chew up and spit out trucks like it's its job.
That's right. This track, well, it's an old one. Broke ground right here as a horse track back in 1966. 1969 is when they opened up to horse racing, and then, well, it kind of turned over into a stock car track with bankings. Now on the concrete at 24 degrees of banking in the corners and 9 degrees on the straightaway. You wad it up coming out of the corners. You will wind up to the inside wall here tonight. That's not what any of these drivers would like to do, but it is just about time to go racing. Let's head down trackside and get your starting lineup. This is your starting lineup here tonight at the Dover Motor Speedway, brought to us by the Dalton Do-It Center, located in Dalton, Pennsylvania. You need something to get done around the house? Well, I bet you can find it over at the Dalton Do-It Center. Starting on the front row here tonight, this is how they'll line up. Driving truck number 31 here tonight, this is going to be Justin Rigsby in truck number 31. He even sold the windshield banner here tonight. Starting back into the second spot then, driving truck number 11. They call him Double B. This is Brian Beach. Back into third spot here tonight, driving the number 35 truck. This is Matthew Spinks. And Ryan Nolan driving the number 87 here will roll off from fourth. Fifth here tonight, the driver out of Connecticut, driving truck number 4. This is Craig Learman. Back into the sixth spot, driving truck number 69. That's Aaron Yabokovich. And back into P number 7 here tonight, driving truck number 83, Gage Killam. Coming off a hot streak, he'll start back in 7th. And last week's winner, driving truck number 99, the Smoke Show Racing number 99, that's Dustin German. Back into the 9th position here tonight, the number 86, that's Jerry West. And riding out the top 10 here tonight, driving truck number 14, that's Matthew McMeekin.
Starting on the inside of row number 6, the driver out of the New England area, that's the 07 of Andy Hill. And outside of him, the Attitude Esports, number 85 of Jeff Stiles. Dylan Blankenship in car number 51 will start 13th, and outside of him his dancing partner in row number 7. It's the number 8 of Chad Meadows. And shotgun on the field, the driver that won at the Daytona International Speedway in race number 1. It is Andy Lambert. That's your 15 trucks that will start the green flag here tonight in the Monster 110 here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, it's going to be a good one, Roger, and it's going to be, hopefully everybody has fastened those seat belts. You're going to go really fast down these straightaways, and you're going to drop 10 stories, it feels like, I'm being told, from these drivers when you drop down into these corners, and you got to carry a lot of speed. But getting up off of turns 2 and turn 4, that's where Monster Miles loves to eat up these tailgating trucks as they work here behind the pace car for what will be a short pace lap before we go green flag racing.
Yeah, so it is the 110 miles scheduled here tonight at the 1 mile track in Dover, Delaware for the third round of the season for these tailgaters. The trucks are out there onto the speedway. Looks like one driver did miss the call to the starting lineup. That's going to be truck number 8. That's Silverado, driven by Chad Meadows. He will not make his way to the grid. We'll see if he can catch an early caution flag and get back out there onto the raceway. But this time by, we're drop the hammer. 14 trucks ready to go. 110 laps here at the Monster Mile, as we are ready to go for the All-American Pro Truck Series here tonight. Justin Rigsby, Brian Beach, your front row as they bring them down. The green flag is up. We're racing in Delaware.
And a good launch there on the front row, and it'll be Rigsby putting about 3/4 of a truck out in front. But here comes Beach working the outside of the racetrack. He'll have to let off with his Chevy Silverado as they will work down here in the turn number 3 for the first time. Ryan Nolan trying to poke the 87 down low. Can't do anything with him that time off of turn number 4.
Coming to complete lap number 1 here tonight, that'll be Justin Rigsby leading lap number 1 with Brian Beach and Ryan Nolan back there sitting into P number 3 here tonight. Everybody still battling a little bit deeper into the field. That is Andrew Hill right now. He is currently working down the back straightaway to the outside of, I believe that was the number 85. It was of Jeff Stiles. So Stiles going to take back that spot from Andrew Hill. Hill has dropped 2 spots in the first handful of laps of this one. As we're still green flag racing here at Dover, it is all Justin Rigsby. Everybody really starting to funnel into a good run, except for, well, one driver out of line. It is going to be the number 51. That was Dylan Blankenship. Now he picked up the spot over Matthew McMeekin.
He'll work down the inside here, trying to catch up. The next car in front of him is Killam. And car number 83 inside the top 10. And right now, these drivers getting into a good rhythm, trying to take care of their tires. A limited number of tires down on pit road. I believe we'll see at least one stop here tonight at the Monster Mile Dover International Speedway as they work around here. Complete already 4 laps into the books, and you can already start to see them get a little bit tight up off that corner, and you got to be careful not to overheat that tire. You can snap it loose, or you're going to cream the outside retaining wall, and that's going to put a really big damper onto your race night.
There was a battle for the race lead there momentarily. Brian Beach did get to the inside there on Justin Rigsby, but that did not come to fruition for truck number 11. So right now, Brian Beach still back in the line. Everybody is running single file around the concrete mile right now. That is Matthew Spinks in the red Silverado right now driving the number 35 there. He's got Craig Learman all over the back end. One driver going to scrape the wall there. That was the green number 87. Ryan Nolan took his Silverado, scraped it up down the back straightaway, but he keeps that spot. Everybody still continues to motor along here at Dover right now. Rigsby, Beach, Nolan, Spinks, and Learman. Last week's winner right there in the K&N Ford. That F-150's moved up 2 spots since the drop of the green flag, and Al alluded to those tires here tonight. The concrete monster really does cheese grade these tires. The question is, when do you really want to start to push these?
I think it's a matter of just, hang on to it. One car loose. That's the 4 of Learman. Learman got really up out of the groove there. I believe the 35 was Spink, the Attitude Graphics number 35. Really got to the outside wall as well with a great save by both those drivers. But back to your question, I think it really matters how far up the racetrack you want to go, what your strategy is with your crew chief that's sitting on top of your pit box, where you would like to come in the pit road, when would you like to come down pit road to get those tires. We know that fall off is going to be something here to pay attention to, and new tires are going to make a difference. But like we saw Iowa, green to checkered with these All-American Pro Truck Series drivers getting on and off of pit road, especially with the amount of marbles already collecting around the Dover Speedway. Is it going to be, it's going to make it that much harder to get on the pit and off of pit road.
Once again, a battle for the race lead. That's the 11 of Brian Beach checking back up to the back bumper there. The number 31 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby didn't get a lot of practice here tonight in his number 31, the Wonder Bread Al. He even sold, I alluded to it on the grid, he sold the windshield of that Wonder Bread machine.
Yeah, Rigsby, one of those crazy drivers out there. How he's seeing, I don't know. But he will get it figured out there as he's out front. I guess you don't have to really worry too much about what's in front of you when you are the race leader.
Well, Fig Newlands, you're chasing them.
Hey, you got it. Man has to eat. But he's starting to feel the pressure. Beach, though, trying to spray some of that Mountain Dew Baja Blast on him. And Beach really keeping them honest right now. Those two drivers has started the gap, about a 10 truck length gap over third place Ryan Nolan. And Nolan, a really wise veteran here on the iRacing platform, knows how to take care of his equipment. And right now, just keeping them at bay. To keep them in sight, that means you have a chance to get there. But Beach really trying to find a way to get around the 31 of Rigsby.
Right now it is 12 trucks within 3.5 seconds of each other, and then Andrew Hill and Andy Lambert right now, they have fallen off the pace here just a little bit in the early goings. They're sitting about 4 seconds off the tail end of Matthew McMeekin. That could be just a little bit of a ploy, a little bit of a strategy right now for those drivers to save the tires as best as they can, but there is no tire saving at the front of this field. Rigsby, Beach, they are going at it, and then you have one driver into the outside wall on the front straightaway off turn number 4. That was the number 4 of I believe that's Silverado, that is, of Craig Learman, was up into the outside wall. Aaron got around in truck number 69, so he'll pick up the spot. Now here comes Jerry West. He finished on the podium last week, starting a little bit deeper into the field here tonight.
He'll work there. Now the next driver works the outside. That's the 51 of Blankenship, and Blankenship, one of our highest movers, are up now 5 positions after getting around the 4 of Learman. So Learman really starting to go backwards here is now the 83. Gillum gets by, Jeffrey Stiles next in line. Then it'll be McMeekin in that patriotic number 14 as they work the outside here through turns 3 and 4. And I gotta say, that number 4 truck is not happy at the current moment, as we got a battle inside the top 5 as Dustin German watches that from back there. It is the 69 and the 51 of Blankenship side by side in the turn 3.
Yeah, Jerry West just got around them in the number 86, so he'll pick up now the 6th current running spot. Blankenship's going to pick up that spot also, so it'll be 6 positive spots now for the driver of the number 51 of Dylan Blankenship, the unsponsored number 51, that F-150 looking for some help. He didn't scrape up the quarter panel, but it still would look good with, Al, I think, put your name on the side of that truck.
Yeah, we're going to put my face on the side there. Then it'll really crush that right side panel of that. But hey, everybody doing a good job. But up front, still Rigsby showing the way. 0.2 seconds now. Separating about 3 truck length advantage over Beach. Nolan runs in 3rd, and he's got a good battle back there. So your top 5 starting to evenly space out, so we keep our eyes back here in this battle with Jeff Stiles, Roger, and truck number 85 hanging on to that 10th spot, but he's really putting up a battle to the 83 of Gage Killam off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Killam and Stiles, 2 veterans here on the iRacing.com sim. They race everything from these trucks all the way to short tracks like, well, your super late models, your SK modifieds, and everything in between. These 2 drivers are well-seasoned veterans, but you do see a little damage on the number 83 there as Jeff Stiles gets around Gage Killam. Killam in that safe light Toyota, currently dropped 3 spots since the drop of the green flag. He has been into the outside wall. That's really going to hurt him. There you see in the background of that picture, the number 4 of Learman. Learman still off the pace now ever since he got up into the outside wall. So we see a lot of comers and goers here in the early going. Still a lot of racing left here tonight at the Dover Motor Speedway. There's your race leaders as they work off the corner. It will be Brian Beach very close to the outside wall that time at turn number 4. May have got a little piece of it in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. Well, maybe, I don't know. It looks pretty good, but he lost a little ground to Rigsby. Now he's starting to pull him right back in.
And you notice that Rigsby that time by kind of goes in, lets the truck drift up the racetrack and trying to get that straighter run up off the corner. I think doing that with a ploy is trying to keep that number 31 Wonder Bread truck off of the outside retaining wall. Now we'll keep it down low. So those drivers just searching around, trying to feel what's best, what's to save those tires. So we close in on the almost the quarter mark of this race, and we want to thank everybody for tuning on in. And how about the Dalton Do-It Center, Roger? I know you were up there today trying to get some supplies for your yard work you're going to be doing this week, and I guarantee that Dalton Do-It Center had everything that you needed to make your yard look beautiful.
They did. I got you a rake, too, so when you come down in June, I'm going to put it out there on the internet. You said you're coming down here to Pennsylvania in June, so I got you a rake. You can help me out through the flower beds, and I'm just going to hold off and wait for you. I'll get you a shovel, too. And, hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm going to go back up there. I'm going to get you some work gloves.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, my hands are very delicate, and I need the work gloves, so I appreciate that. Hopefully you can spread out your expenses over about a couple more weeks, and I'll be down there. I'm really looking forward to headed down to the command center of the home of Turn 3 Racing Network right down in Pennsylvania. Looking forward to that. Is everybody doing a good job so far here tonight? And it looks like at the back of the field, looks like Andrew Hill and the 58 of Andy Lambert are starting to close in on the number 4 of Learman. Learman really struggling with that 4 truck right now, Roger. And you have been around this racetrack plenty to know that once you are unhappy in that race truck, it's going to be a long night. Monster Miles is licking his chops. We're hoping to take a bite out of that race car. And I tell you, that number 4 looks good. That time almost scraping the wall, and looks like Killam troubles down on the front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like Gage Gillum got into the outside wall in turn number 4. Took him the whole front straightaway to really get back into things. And now it looks like Gillum's getting back up to speed, but he's going to lose a ton of ground. He was up there, right around the 7th, 8th position. Now he's all the way back here into the 13th spot, and that Toyota is very, very wounded. He's back there with the wounded Craig Learman entry, and Andrew Hill, who's right now currently sitting back into P number 14. He's just kind of sitting there, kind of biding his time for the time being. At the front of the field, it is still, though, going to be Justin Rigsby, still going to be Brian Beach, and Ryan Nolan. That's your top 3. And one driver that just picked up a spot, though, Dustin German. He will pick up P number 4. He got that away from Matthew Spinks. So Spinks back to running into the top 5. That's your top 5 here. As this time by, we're knock ourselves out of the 20 lap marker. It'll be 29 completed as we work lap number 30.
And let's see, as they cross the stripe, who has the fastest time as they come across the stripe last time by. It is going to be the driver out front having the fast lap. So Rigsby still has some gas left in the tank up there. Thought about maybe he was pushing it a little bit too hard, but him and Beats running near identical lap times last time by. So those two Chevy Silverados doing a great job here tonight. I would be worn out asking for tires by this point if it was me out there.
I think you were wore out coming up the steps here asking for soda.
I needed water. Soda wasn't quite, they should put an elevator. How come you always pick the broadcast booth without the elevator? Are you trying to tell me something?
I'm just trying to make you work for it there, young man. Lap 31 in the books as the truck number 31 continues to lead the way. One of the fast trucks that's starting to make his move. Here comes the 99. Dustin German will now pick off another one. The 99 will pick up P number 3. That'll bump Ryan Nolan back into P number 4 now. So that 99 really coming to life. He may have saved the tires just a little bit in the early stages of this one. Those first handful, 10, 15 laps of the race, saved them. And now that F-150 is coming to the front. I'm going to take a look here at the best times here last time by, and well, your race leader of Rigsby still going to continue to be the best truck on the speedway. Second best is Matthew Spanks, and then it was Dustin German as Nolan into the outside wall off turn number 2.
Yeah, tough hit there for the 87 of Ryan Nolan, and almost gets it again off of turn number 4, so that's going to hurt that truck. Hopefully did not knock the toe out. That's going to make the tires wear a little bit more. Everybody doing a good job to give some space when that happens. As you know as well as I do, once you hit that outside wall, someone's on you. They're going to make contact with you as well. These drivers showing why they are the best in the business here on a Sunday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the All-American Pro Truck Series. And, I think you can take that truck and bring it up to Indian Neck Motors, and they can buff that out for him, get it tuned up, maybe here on this pit stop.
Well, everybody's going to be eyeing up pit road here, and they got the Indian Neck Motors workers down there are going to service some of these Silverados and these Toyotas as there's the battle. There's the number 35, though, with Matthew Spinks. Here comes the number 86. That's Jerry West. West to go down to the bottom. Wheezy really trying to dig down low here tonight at the number 86. He'll take that spot away. And a bump now Spinks back to the 6th position as the battle back here between Matthew McMeekin, the 51 of Dylan Blankenship. Remember, Blankenship was like a rocket ship here in the early stages.
That he was, and now Blankenship back to that 9th position. So hanging out inside the top 10, how about McMeekin starting to roll forward? Right there in front of him will be the number 85 of Jeff Stiles. These drivers have been glued together all race long, still glued together. is now everybody's starting to calculate when they should come to pit road. You're starting to see the trucks wash up off the corner. That tells me the tires are starting to give up.
Al, tires or fuel? Who's coming to pit road first for fuel? Who's coming to pit road first for tires here? Which one? If you put your old driver helmet back on. I know it's been a while since you've been in the cockpit of one of these sim cars, but go ahead, put the old driver helmet on right now.
I think you're going to definitely be crying for tires well before you need fuel. But I think maybe you'll see drivers come down anywhere between 45 and, say, lap 60, making it a one-stop race, unless we get a yellow flag. And here comes Andrew Hill taking a peek. Andy Lambert got all crossed up, and Hill starting to make a move towards the front, and he's been in the outside retaining wall in that 07 as they work off a turn number 4. Oh, and he gets the outside wall once again down the front stretch. That's going to allow the 58 of Lambert. With that number 58 going to take over spot number 11 as they start to close in on the back of Jakubowicz in truck number 69.
Pass inside the top 5. That was going to be the 86 of Jerry West, the SRTV entry, making a move. He's been plus 5 positions right now. He's one of 3 drivers that have put themselves plus 5 here tonight, but now Jerry West will sit there into the 4th position here as we go to pick off lap number 41, working lap number 42 here. That SRTV entry just looking pretty stout. It's pretty solid. Haven't seen him really step out of line very much here tonight. I guess you could say, Al, he's still smoother than Chicken Lips.
Still, yes, absolutely, but not as smooth as your head, Roger. But up front, the battle for your race lead starting to be a good one. Beach took a look to the inside. Now has tucked it back inside, but they were even off of turn number 2 one lap ago. They are back to single file action as they work through turns 1 and 2 and down the back stretch once again. Beach, though, really still keeping the 31 honest, and I'm not sure if he's pushing that truck as hard as it can go right at the moment. It seems like he can pull up and try to make a move on Rigsby anytime he wants.
Yeah, it seems like he can get there, but we always talk about you can get there, but can you pass him? And this is one of the most difficult tracks to pass because, yeah, you might be able to get to the inside, but you can't quite use all the track. You can't put the power down, and that means you're just out there sliding around here on the concrete with miles at your mercy. And, well, if there's somebody to the outside, you got to really think, is it worth it to risk it for the biscuit? Sideways for the number 11 there, O'Brien Beach, as one driver was down on pit road. That was the number 4 of Craig Learman, and it looks like his crew has actually pulled it behind the wall here tonight. The number 4 of Craig Learman will be off the speedway on lap number 41. One driver that did not make the call to the grid but is out there now. There you see the Tracker Boats number 8. That's Chad Meadows. Meadows is out onto the raceway with truck number 8. He's been into the outside wall a time or 2, though, with that Bass Pro Shops entry, so we'll see if he can keep it on the track. Right now, he needs to go 20 more laps, and he'd actually be able to pick up that 14th spot from Craig Learman, who currently is being scored off the raceway.
Everybody doing a good job back here. Side-by-side action, though, the 85 of Styles pressuring the Attitude Graphics. Number 35 of Matthew Spinks, and Spinks up the racetrack and going to give way to the 85 and Hill. Oh boy, that was close off of turn number 4. The 85 to the 35 of Spinks almost getting the outside wall as we close in on the halfway point of the Monster 110 here at the Dover International Raceway. They keep changing the name of this, Roger. What is the actual name? They were just here a few weeks ago. Is it Dover International Speedway now? I know they were changing it up.
Well, Al, it's all going to depend on who you are, what era of NASCAR you follow, what era you still believe you're in. I believe the current term is Dover Motor Speedway, a.k.a. the Monster Mile still. But, hey, trust me, I still call it Dover International Speedway myself.
All right. Yeah, we're old school, that's why.
They used to race horses here. How many of the people out there watching tonight, whether you're watching on YouTube or over on our Facebook live feed here tonight, even knew they raced horses here? There's also a casino, and Al, good thing we're here virtually because I'd probably have to drive you back to New York.
You would. I would have traded the car in by this point, you know. have to call it Gamblers Anonymous. Not very good at the whole gambling thing, but lap traffic going to start to be a thing now. Your race leaders closing in on the back of the field. That will be the first truck they catch. The 83 of Gage Killam. Got in the outside retaining wall, and that truck has not been up to snuff since then. Maybe hoping for a yellow flag where they can get onto pit road. But Rigsby now really starting to stretch it out over the number 11 of Beach. As 50 laps are completed, working lap 51 as they work down the back stretch here, and everybody doing a good job. But the battle on the racetrack is for that 6th position. Jeff Stiles trying to hold off Matthew McMeekin.
Couple drivers coming to pit road here. Jerry West will be the first one to bring down his Chevrolet. So West will be the first one of your race leaders to come to pit road. He's also joined by Andrew Hill. So Hill bringing the 07 Chevrolet also to pit road. He's been into the outside a time or two. They go around, they'll put the right side tires on that 07 of Hill, and they'll come back around here to put the left sides on, and then they will try to beat out some damage if they can. Dustin German going to bring down the K&N F-150. He will be the next driver inside the top 5 here. That does pit, and this is all happening right before the halfway marker. Al, you're pitting before halfway. At this point, I'm going to assume you believe you have enough fuel and you can save the tires to go the rest of the way.
I believe so, and we saw this strategy at Iowa work for Dustin German, and he is back down on pit road right now. So right now, like I said, it's really hard to get on and off of pit road. German down there is on pit road as he will work. Now, it'll be interesting to see how much faster the drivers on new tires are compared to the drivers on old tires. Is it that much of a difference, or is that going to be the difference maker between winning and losing the Monster 110 here tonight?
Well, I'm looking at the race leader of Justin Rigsby right now. I'm looking at his time. His best lap time here tonight was a 23.44. To his last time by was a 25.25, so almost a 2-second give up on the tires here, as I believe we have problems. One driver trying to come to pit road, and he's having problems. That was Brian Beach. He's right now beached, and he missed pit road. He's backing it up. No caution being thrown, as though somebody else just right into him. I believe that was the 51 of Blankenship. So trouble down here as drivers are trying to come to pit road.
And we talked about how tricky it was in the pace lap, how tricky it was getting on the pit road, and that is going to be a killer for the 11 of Beach. It looks like Blankenship had to take the tow after that hard contact, so Blankenship might be behind the pit road now, but we'll find out. Rigsby still staying out on the racetrack, has a 7.8 second lead over the 85 of Styles, who has cycled up to second by not pitting as of yet.
Let's take a look back there at Brian Beach and see what happened as he came to pit road here. You see the 11 down the back straightaway. Into 3 he goes, and then he's going to try and come right down here onto the apron. And no, he's just caught the brakes at the wrong time. Too much rear brake. It locked it up. Slid right there into the water barrels at the end of pit road. He backs it up, and then I believe the 51 of Blankenship was trying to come to pit road, and he did the same exact thing. He pulled it down to the inside and took the quick tow to pit road. As the 11 of Brian Beach tried to gather it up, Beach is going to go from inside the top 5 well outside of it now, I would believe, at the end of these pit stops.
Jeff Stiles is going to hold on to your race lead now, as your race leader of Justin Rigsby is in on pit road.
Yeah, it is going to be Jeff Stiles, Matthew McMeekin now coming to pit road. Justin Rigsby is coming back out here, I do believe, as they are switching. No, they're switching the left side tires. The truck that's coming out is going to be Andy Lambert. So Lambert's going to actually come out in front of the number 31 of Justin Rigsby. Rigsby was the race leader when he came to pit road, now being scored in 6th with just 2 drivers that have to pit ahead of him. That's Jeff Stiles, or a couple drivers actually that have to pit ahead of him. Jeff Stiles, Matthew McMeekin, who is actually down on pit road right now. Gage Killam has also yet to come to pit road in the number 83 here tonight. So Killam still has to come. Jerry West should cycle through to possibly be the race leader of this race here tonight. There you see that Chevrolet. He's currently being scored third, but he was the first one to come to pit road, and he was the first one back out onto the racetrack tonight. So now here comes Styles, and Styles actually almost did exactly what Beach did. He got on the binders, the truck jumped sideways. He actually was able to get it to pit road, though just barely by one of the hairs on top of my head, Al. Just missed those barrels.
Just barely missed it, and that's pretty close right there by the hair on your head there, Roger. So it'll be the 85 coming down pit road. He'll make the hard left-hand turn into his pit box. At a very slow 35 miles an hour is all pit road speed here is. And Gage Killam has crashed, and looks like we will stay green on the racetrack.
He did exactly what Brian Beach did down there in turn number 4 out coming to pit road.
So that'll put Killam on the pit road, and Jerry West pitted first and is out front by 1.2 seconds over the Iowa Corn Shuckers 100 race winner, Dustin German in that number 99 truck. The F-150 is second, and Justin Rigsby some 6 seconds behind there. So just shows you how much time was lost. And is there enough time now? Just under 50 laps to go to get back to the front. Jerry West doing a good job up on the front of this one. Dustin German in second. And your leader, or old race leader, the 31 of Rigsby, stopped in to get a new bread, loaf of that Wonder Bread here tonight on pit road.
Was it the bread that he got replenished with, or was it those Fig Newtons, or is he still chasing the Fig Newtons? I can't tell.
I think he's still chasing the Fig Newtons, but
Wonder if he chews Big Red, too.
He might. Did he drink Mountain Dew?
I don't know. He's coming like a spider monkey right now. He is the fastest truck on the speedway as they're running. That time by, he actually slowed down about a tenth of a second slower, and that was due to the lap traffic that he just encountered there of Chad Meadows. Meadows being scored currently back into that 15th spot. He'll pick up a spot this time by from Craig Learman. Remember, Learman currently being scored off the raceway. Another driver that has now called it a night here, the driver of the number 51 of Dylan Blankenship. So Blankenship and Learman are off the raceway and out of this race. Brian Beach tried to come back out onto the raceway with truck number 11, but he has since now taken it back behind the wall. He will see if he can get back out there as he is being scored a couple laps down currently in that 12th position. Pass for position right now, though, that's going to be Matthew Spinks in that number 35 entry going around the 07 of Andrew Hill. So Hill will drop a spot back to the 7th spot now as Matthew Spinks picks up 6th.
He does. They come off the corner, and Hill is all which way but straight. Somehow holds on to that unsponsored 07. My question right now, Roger, is you have a lot more experience behind the old cap here for the big racetracks, and I call the big racetracks anything over a half mile, is how important is it not to overdrive the truck right now? You know Justin Rigsby has speed in that 31 truck. Pitted on lap number 58, some 6-7 laps before your race leader Jerry West pitted. You know your tires are going to be better. Is it a matter of how hard you push it to catch them up here as Jerry West still leading it, but that race lead is starting to shrink. The 99 of Dustin German is really starting to reel him in.
I think right now, if you're Justin Rigsby, you're just out there saving. There is going to come a point here tonight where these tires really do start to equalize, but it's all about the drivers, well, the style, how they do it. A lot of these drivers here at Dover will like to dial a lot of front brake into these cars, or these Silverados, these Fords, and the Toyotas. And then they're just driving off into the corner. They're snap onto the brake, and then they're getting right back into the gas. Well, that's just going to wear the tires out. A lot of these other drivers, probably majority of the field, is dialing a little rear brake into the car. You dial rear brake into the car, yeah, you're going to have to brake maybe a little bit earlier, kind of lift a little bit earlier, but you're able to drag that brake around the corners, like right when you get down into 1 and down into 3, you're able to drag that rear brake, and that's actually going to get these Silverados, well, for Rigsby, his Silverado, to turn, kind of apex more into the corner, and then point that Silverado down the straightaway and gain a lot of speed. So that's something that he's going to have to try and work on. But, well, talk about working on. How about working on the race leader, Jerry West? Knock, knock. You got company knocking on the back end of that Silverado.
Yeah, the K&N filter number 99, the German, has really reeled them in now, trying to get by that SRTV sponsored 86 of Jerry West. West up to the outside. Here it comes Sherman to the peak to the inside. Can't quite do anything with him, and don't look now. Already taking 2 seconds off this battle is Justin Rigsby. 5.3 seconds back there and closing on this duo. And how about Jakubowicz right there in that 69? He's trying to unlap himself, get back with the 1 lap to the arrears the hard way, as he'll pass Dustin German, and that'll cool off this race lead battle as they enter turn number 3.
Jakubowicz does have the fresher tires of the two, so that's kind of playing in his advantage here as he's able to drive up around your second-place driver of Dustin German for the time being. German might at this point just kind of cool the tires. Still over 25 and looks like about, well, there's still a ton of racing to go. I mean, we talk about it being a mile track, and Al, when you're in the mindset of the quote-unquote bigger track racers, a mile is still pretty much considered a short track. It's got braking involved in it. You really got to kind of set the corners up. There you see Jakubowicz go down to the inside, and now Jerry West, he's got to go to the high side, and now Dustin German peeking that F-150 back down to the bottom. Not going to take the advantage there, though. He will fall back into line right behind Wheezy, as Jerry West is still the race leader here, but for how long? Dustin German all over the back end, and well, it was about a straightaway and 2 corners deficit over that 31 of Rigsby. Rigsby now down to just, well, a straightaway.
And it is quite amazing to see how much that 31 has closed in on this race duo as they work through the corner. Here in turns 3 and 4 are going to put lap 77 into the books, and that is coming quickly. Is Rigsby going too hard, or is the 8-lap difference in tires that big of a difference maker right now? Last time by, Rigsby ran a 24.58. The race leaders a 24.79, so 0.2 better is Justin Rigsby right now as he closes in 3 seconds behind this race battle here between the 86 of West and the 99 of German.
Well, you got to really remember there that Jakubowicz was right there also. He was trying to unlap himself from the race leaders. The race leaders were also battling. So call about 5 laps of, well, Rigsby's cut into the lead, battling up here at the front of the field. Man, you battle just a little bit, get somebody out of the groove just a little bit. That takes that lap away, and especially if it's off turn 3 and 4, then it takes 2 laps away technically by the time you're able to get those trucks, I don't want to say back up the full song and dance, but right back into the rhythm that you had prior to that battle. So Rigsby kind of reaping the benefits of that right now. But I'm going to say probably in about 15 laps, though, those tires for the top 3 drivers, they're going to equalize. It doesn't matter if you put it on lap number 51 or if you put it on lap number 58. Those tires are all about to be equalized and on the same level playing field. So Rigsby, I think, at this point is now in go mode.
They are in right now. They have battling cars in front of them as Jakubowicz will work underneath the 07 of Andrew Hill. Hill going to go down a lap now to your race leaders. Is Jerry West right to the back bumper as Wheezy trying to quietly sneak through here as those 2 drivers can look in the rearview mirror. They're on the same straightaway as Rigsby now.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Jeff Stiles going to pick one up there from Nolan. That's the battle back there for the 6th and 7th position as they work underneath the Dryden Bridge down the back straightaway, coming underneath the Ally Bridge down here in turns 3 and 4. So that battle back there just outside the top 5. So Jeff Stiles will take his entry into the 6th spot, and Ryan will fall back to that 7th spot. Your current running order, how they run right now, is Jerry West out front. Then it's going to be Dustin German, Justin Rigsby, Matthew McMeekin, Matthew Spinks, and Jeff Stiles in 6th. Ryan Nolan back there in 7th. Andrew Hill is running into the 8th position currently, while Andy Lambert is running 9th. And Jakubowicz is back there rounding out the top 10. That's how they currently run here after 83 circuits around the Dover Motor Speedway have been completed.
They have, and now the top 3 trucks, nobody in between them. Rigsby has, Andrew Hill hard in the outside wall. Keeps it gathered up and hard contact with the right front with that 0.7. That time off of turn number 2. Everybody going to keep it pointing in the right direction. But back up front, all 3 of your race leaders now. Nobody in between them. It is going to be a dogfight as they come off this corner with just 25 more circuits. 25 miles left to go here for your top 3 as they work through turns 1 and 2. Justin Rigsby with the fresher tires. Is that going to be the difference maker here with 25 laps to go? Will we get a late race yellow that'll let these drivers cool these tires off? We know that cooling them off, well, that can help for a little bit, or it can make them worse depending on how you're driving your truck. In Dover, such a rhythm racetrack. Justin Rigsby really closing in on the backside now. German is now. Styles is going to get by Spinks for 5th.
So that'll be the battle back there. They just swapped it back about 5-6 laps ago. Now they're going to give it right back. And, well, we'll see which one of those drivers towards the end is going to decide who has what. But it is all the top 3. Jerry West, Dustin German, and Justin Rigsby. Rigsby's got the Wonder Bread entry to the inside. Wondering if he's got enough to dig up to the front there where Jerry West is. Not able to make the pass here with 23 laps to go. Justin Rigsby will take his Wonder Bread entry and fall back into line. Remember, he just spent about the last, call it 20 laps, really going gung-ho on those tires. He's got there, but now he's got to get around them.
He does, and you saw him going really high that time through turns 1 and 2 and cut it down low. That gets you a little bit extra speed here down the straightaways. Now cut it down low, getting that air on the front end. Is now Germany going to cut that air off there. That's going to make you tight. Get a little bit aero tight with the fast speeds that these drivers are racing at around the Dover International Raceway. And it is the 31 of Justin Rigsby trying to find a way around the Iowa winner, the 99 of Dustin German. Will we have our 3rd different winner of the season here tonight as they work all the way around this racetrack? It'll be 20 laps to go as they cross the stripe.
Remember, Dustin German came into the night as the points championship leader. He had a 17-point race lead over Andrew Hill and Ryan Nolan. Then it was Brian Beach and Thomas Killam. Justin Rigsby was back in 6th, and Jerry West was 7th in the championship standings. So your top 3 drivers right now inside the top 10 coming into the evening here to dance with Miles as they get 19 to go. So I would believe right now Dustin German would like to keep that 2nd spot, but if you're playing the big ball game picture at the end of the year, you want to have as many points as you can at the end. So I would think one position is worth giving up over wrecking the truck.
I would think so, and these guys are really starting to put pressure on each other as they come off of turn number 4. The top 3 drivers have broken out 6 seconds over McMeekin, who's kind of in his own little zip code back there in the 4th position. And then you got to go back another 6 seconds to Jeff Styles, who is still battling it out with the number 35 of Matt Spinks, and they've kind of separated themselves now as they work into turn number 1. So everybody really out there minding their own P's and Q's, trying to get to the end of this one. And what has been a fantastic race here at the Monster 110. Monster Miles only got a quick little snack on a couple trucks so far in the first 93 laps.
Al, he's looking at you funny. You just tipped him off that there is more carnage out there that he could have for dinner tonight, because there's still 16 to go as here comes Rigsby taking a bid down to the inside once again on that number 99 of German. There come off the corner as it will actually be Dustin German still holding that spot. Rigsby really has to go to work because, well, it'll be 15 to go when they come back across the stripe. And Jerry West is starting to open up the gap. It's the biggest we've seen since, We had about 40 to go.
Yeah, I think right now he's happy to see that these two drivers are battling as hard as they are, because once Rigsby has gotten there, German has fallen off the back bumper of the 86 of West. Or did West allow back up, kind of save the equipment, per se, until these drivers could battle it out, and he is really starting to stretch it out now, 0.6 of a second over the 99 of German, who is still being hounded by that 31 of Justin Rigsby. Up high, down low, will try to come get a run down the backstretch, and you just see, just can't quite get there, Roger, not yet, as they're going to come to 13 to go.
Al, you talk about you like tracks that are smaller than, say, a half a mile, but this track equals a mile in distance. I call it a short track. You call it a big track. Is the 3-tap Teddy rule come into play here?
I think it definitely could. I think that it goes into effect for pretty much anywhere. I would even say at the big super speedways of Daytona and Talladega that comes into play. But it depends on how much you really want to. Oh, trouble for Rigsby. Hard contact in the back side of the 83 Gage Killam. And that is heavy front end damage on the 31 of Rigsby. There, as we saw Killam get tight up off the corner. And we talked about that in this race, that once someone gets in trouble, you do not have enough time to check up and get out of their way as they try to save it. That is really going to hurt the progress of Justin Rigsby, and that might have just solidified Jerry West and Dustin German battling it out for your race lead with 11 laps to go.
So it will be 10 laps to go when they come back around here. It's still Jerry West leading the way. Now that Dustin German doesn't have anybody back behind him, we'll see if he can now go on the aggressive and go run down the front runner, or will Rigsby be able to make a challenge? But the double high five goes up this time. Jerry West, Dustin German, Justin Rigsby, Matthew McMeekin, Jeff Stiles. That's how your top 5 run, with just 10 miles of racing left to go. The rest of the field has really stretched themselves out. The best battle is still right here with inside the top 3 with West, German, and Rigsby.
Rigsby still there, 1.5 seconds, kind of stalled out after making contact. There is West still showing the way. 9 circuits to go, 9 miles. Can the 99 German have time to run them down? 4th spot is the 14 of McMeekin, and running out your top 5, Jeff Stiles. No real position battle on the racetrack right now. Everybody's kind of separated themselves out, and what has been a clean race so far has been green the checkers. And what is being displayed as great racing here tonight in the All-American Pro Truck Series, presented by Dalton Do-It Centers and Indian Neck Motors.
So this time by, it'll be 7 laps to go. Jerry West still out front. That Louisville Cardinal here tonight doing his best to, well, go from a podium spot to a top spot here tonight. It's 7 to go. He is out front. He runs the middle lane. That's where he likes to be currently here at Dover. Nobody has anything for the time being for him, but man, it's going to be 6 to go. 6 miles of racing left. Does anybody have anything? Because now is the time to go.
They will work around the corner. 6 laps to go. And West out front, 0.7 and growing. So he really saved enough tires right now. Or was the battle between Rigsby and German, did that really use up German's tires?
I think it did this time by. They're going to get that high 5. He's waving at them as they come by. Just 5 more laps to go here tonight at Dover. 5 more chances for Dustin German. Still hasn't been able to. Last time by, identical times for the top 4, actually. Matthew McMeekin sneaking in there is just a little bit quicker, but he is too far back to really challenge. He's, 6.5 seconds back to the race leaders as they come by this time. Jerry West, Dustin German, Justin Rigsby all across the line 4 more times around here at Dover.
4 more cycles around the racetrack, and he has opened up almost to a 1-second lead. West has some lap traffic in front of him. Not sure he will get there. This time off of turn number 4, West will see 3 laps to go. German and Rigsby both back there as well. Rigsby starting to close in, and troubles that time for German. That really closed the gap up between himself and Justin Rigsby. Still about 5 car lengths separating those two as they work down the backstretch. And this time by, the melted popsicle sticks will be in the air. 2 laps to go.
That's right. It'll be 2 to go as they're winding him up this time. Gage Killam not able to make it on fuel. He's down on pit road, so his night not going to wind up the way he wanted. 2 more miles of racing, 2 more laps to go here tonight. Jerry West has to right now be thinking, oh boy, could this old bucket of bolts hold up here? Because he'll come to get the 1 to go this time by out of turn number 4.
White flag will be up, and it is the Attitude Graphics 1 to go here at the Monster 110. Down in the turn 1 they go. Final trip through turns 1 and 2. Jerry West has to navigate the backstretch one last time, ducking into the wall. Battle for second shaping up. All eyes are on your race leader, the 86 of Jerry West, through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is up. The Monster 110 is going to be dominated by Jerry West. German will come home second. Third will go to Rigsby. Unofficially, as the battle for fourth will come off of turn number 4. And it's going to be Matthew McMeekin holding on to that spot. Jeff Stiles will come home fifth. As everybody else will cycle back around in what was another green the checkered race for the All-American Pro Truck Series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
Last week finished on the podium. Thought he had one of the faster trucks last night, or 2 weeks ago, really, technically, at Iowa. And tonight, the Louisville Cardinal. SRTV Network entry will go to victory lane. Jerry West will pick up the win after 110 laps have been completed here at the Dover Motor Speedway. As he sits there on the front straightaway, race fans, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to talk to your top 3 here at Dover after these messages.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Dover Motor Speedway here tonight for the Monster 110. As these All-American Pro Truck Series drivers have just done 110 laps. Let's head down trackside to talk to our winner here tonight after 110 laps, Jerry West. The old Hound Dogs were knocking on the back door. They were coming, but you were able to keep this number 86 out front here to the end of this one.
Yeah, man, I feel like I got lucky on this one. Miracles happen is what I told my teammate. I knew Dustin was going to be strong there at the end, and I had a little bit of damage from a mistake I made earlier. I got into the fence a little bit. Spotter told me it wasn't too bad, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time in the pits trying to get it fixed. I knew once I had that damage, I had to make a decision to pit early to maybe get an advantage because Beach and Rigsby was so far out on me and Dustin early in the race that we really didn't know if we had a chance at this thing or not, especially starting, I believe, ninth or somewhere back there. So I'll take it. Shout out to my teammate for finishing second, though. I was worried there at the end. Felt like a sitting duck, and I got a little lucky with Rigsby and Dustin kind of battling it out for a second. I think that's what kind of sealed the deal. If it wasn't for that, I think Dustin would have got around me and got another win.
Track position here at Dover so crucial. You talk about coming in early, but what did that really do towards the end of this race with you pitting? It looks like 1 lap before Dustin German, and it looks like about 7 laps before Rigsby.
Yeah, even though me and Dustin are teammates for Smoke Show Racing, I didn't share when I was going to pit, and nor does he, which when he got that win in Iowa, that's what happened there. So we don't tell each other when we're going to pit. I guess he seen me come in and maybe, or he could have been on the same strategy just a lap after. So I'm not sure. I just knew I needed some kind of advantage coming back out. And maybe if I can get out in front of them and make them have to come around me, it would be a lot easier for me letting them get ahead and then trying to get around them. So it was basically a Hail Mary, in my opinion, because I didn't feel like I had the truck to win this thing tonight. Although it did drive good and it carried a little bit of speed, I knew that I had about 12 seconds worth of damage. So I was worried there at the end, especially in the last 15 laps. So luckily, like I said prior, I think the battle between Rigsby and German there helped me out a little bit.
Well, you talk about damage. I hope you got some new quarter panels laying around, a couple front bumpers, because it's Dollar Hot Dog Night next week once we head to the Martinsville Speedway. How do you think your chances are there as we head to a different style concrete?
Well, I almost feel like Martinsville is kind of like Talladega, for me at least. It's almost like a wild card race. Usually like to start in the back. A lot of trouble happens early and the track gets blocked up, so it's definitely prone to get damaged there easily, and you can't win if you're not there at the end. So I'm not sure what we're going to do as far as strategy goes going into Martinsville. But we're going to do everything we can to get up front and try to finish in the top 5. Possibly not have a winning truck, but we're going to come in and see if we can make ourselves have a winning truck.
Well, hey, congratulations here tonight, Jerry. We're going to roll the red carpet out for you tonight as you are the winner here at Dover. Red carpet's out, and the microphone is yours.
Absolutely, man. Thanks to everybody that's watching. First, you guys out there. It makes it a lot of fun to be able to put on a show. Hopefully we was able to do that for you guys tonight. And the Dalton Do It Center, All American Pro Truck Series, the guys that behind the scenes over there, Rigsby and all the admins that make all this possible. It's a lot of fun to come out. A lot of great drivers. So hats off to the drivers tonight for a great race. And of course, you guys up in the booth, SRTV Network on the hood, my teammates, Smoke Show Racing, and hate it for Brian Beach, man, but we gave it all we got tonight, man, and we got the win. So thanks for you guys calling this race.
There you hear it from your winner tonight. He drives the number 86 here as he will go to victory lane. Jerry West is the driver that goes to victory lane, so he picks up the big check here, virtually, of course, but I do believe, Al Smith, you are standing by with the second place driver here tonight.
I am standing by here with the number 99 of Dustin German. And Dustin, coming into tonight, you won the last time we saw you guys in action on May 1st in Iowa Speedway. A much different racetrack, but similar speed out of this F-150. And you ran down the race leader, then you had the battle with Justin Rigsby. Talk us through how important it was for tire saving and then trying to also battle and make some moves around this monster mile.
Yeah, saving tires was really important tonight. You know, we only had one set in the pit, so you only get 2 sets for the whole race. So, yeah, it was pretty important to save tires, and, you know, that played into how, you know, the race played out there at the end with Rigsby. I think he was like 8 laps fresher than we were, and it means a lot, but clean air means a lot too.
Yeah, we saw him. What he was able to catch you guys. You were putting a lot of pressure on to Jerry West, and then once Rigsby got to your back bumper, we noticed his truck started to make some, I would say, tight-looking corner exits. How much were you battling, looking out the rearview mirror, trying to keep him behind you, and that allowed Jerry West to get, by that point, had you used up some of the good on those tires to stay with Jerry?
Yeah, I think I'd have been better off if, Rigsby wasn't there. I could have kind of battled with Jerry, but once he came into play, I kind of had to try to hold him off and keep trying to go for the win, but that just allowed Jerry to pull on both of us. Like I said, just the dirty air. I was already battling it behind Jerry, and when you get two drivers beside each other, it's almost impossible to make up any time.
Well, you're going to leave here with a good overall points night. You have first place at the last race at Iowa Speedway and a second place here tonight. Next week, we head to another I'll call it a short track, a half mile at the famed Martinsville Speedway for Hot Dog 150. And at Martinsville Motor Speedway, how is the outlook for you in this race team? And do you enjoy racing at Martinsville?
Yeah, when I first started on iRacing, I didn't care for it too much, but it's grown on me over the years, and I kind of look forward to going there. Should be a pretty good race, and I don't expect any less from anybody out here, so I think we'll have a good race next week.
Well, you put on a good show here. We know it isn't just you making it all work there. We're all at the red carpet. Who you got to thank to get you onto the podium here tonight and the Monster 110?
First and foremost, just thank my team, Smoke Show Racing. Congratulations to Jerry. He's a teammate. Good to see him. Glad to see him get a win. Thanks to you guys in Turn 3. And just the league that they put on for us over here for Justin Rigsby. And it's just fun racing with these guys every week. And car count's kind of low, but, man, they make up for it with the way they drive. So just having a lot of fun over here.
Well, there you hear the driver of the number 99 for Smoke Show Racing, the number 99, Dustin German. Dustin, we'll talk to you next week, hopefully, at the Martinsville Speedway. Until then, keep it wheels down, and we'll have a safe week. And there you go. That's 99 of Dustin German picking up your number 2 spot here tonight, Roger. And I believe you've caught up with the driver that was chasing those Fig Newtons all night long, the driver of the number 31 of Justin Rigsby.
Yeah, he's standing by. He's actually eating a loaf of Wonder Bread. I guess it's a post-race ritual here for Justin Rigsby. Well, Rigsby, how about it? That 31 was awfully fast in the early portion of this race. Middle, you had to pit. You were off sequence from the rest of the leaders, but you were able to run them down.
Yeah, it was fast. Just didn't have enough there at the end once I caught them guys. Very hard to pass there. So I don't know if I'd burnt my stuff up or just trying to get around somebody on the bottom of the run they get on the top. It was hard to overcome, but still a good run tonight for the Fatted Calf Chevy. I think you guys are a little out of date on some paints, is what I'm being told, so maybe something to look at. But either way, hey, the number 31's on the side of it, and she was rocking and rolling.
She was rocking and rolling. When you got towards the leaders, though, lap traffic was right ahead of you. You got into the back of one of those trucks out there. How much damage did that really do to the front end of this Silverado?
It hurt me. It was my mistake. It wasn't Gage's fault by any means. I did not expect to close that gap that fast. My thought was the run I would have where Dustin had to stay on the bottom was to come out on the top side and swing down and hopefully be able to get a run to pass him there into the next corner. But bad judgment on my side, so it hurt us a little bit. I think I could have maybe got around Dustin at the end. I know I got back to him right there before the checkered, but catching somebody and passing them is two different things, and that's just something I wasn't able to do at the end.
So a third place finish then for you, and you talk about catching them and passing them. Paperclip next week. It's one of the hardest tracks. How do you think this Silverado's going to handle there?
Well, we've got a good history there. I'm curious to see how the race plays out. We've surprisingly last 2 weeks went flag to flag. We've got a good group of guys. Field has been a little bit short, but we know we've got some guys missing between vacation and and life. we still got a very good core group we expect. So hopefully we can get some numbers next week, and if we can go caution free next week, that'll be something. I don't know if any of us can handle it as far as your feet or your hands wearing out, going numb, whatever happens when you run so long. But I look forward to it, and hopefully we can turn the momentum we got this week into a win next week.
Well, keep the momentum rolling. Before we let you go, who helps you out back home on the 31?
I appreciate you guys for coming on and putting a show on for us, and Matt for throwing up the league, Attitude Graphics, making these trucks look good, and we got the Fatted Calf on there, Heritage Barbershop, MGM Specialties, there's whoever else makes this happen, Craig and Scott for providing the support to get the league on the TV. So hopefully we are putting on a good show with some good racing and can keep it up the rest of the season.
There you hear it from the driver of the number 31 here tonight. He had a really fast ride. He'll finish P number 3. That was Justin Rigsby rounding down the podium finishers here tonight at the Dover Motor Speedway, or Al, as you would like to say, Dover International.
Yeah, it was, and what a great race this was. We heard from our top 3, which was Jerry West, Dustin German, and Justin Rigsby. How about the rounding out your top 5? All Attitude Esport drivers, Matthew McMeekin and Jeff Stiles, rounded out the top 5, Roger. And what was something that we were not expecting. We thought Dover Monster Miles, well, he left his appetite, well, a little unfulfilled here tonight. Not a lot of carnage at the Dover. These drivers knowing it's a long season and a grinding one at that. Next week, though, we go down to Virginia, the Martinsville Speedway, where the grandfather clock will be dinging. Well, and you'll be counting how many hot dogs you've been eating all weekend long, Roger.
Well, you hold the record on that one about the hot dogs being eaten down there in Martinsville, but we wouldn't be able to bring you all this great racing action if it wasn't for Attitude Graphics. You need something made up, Attitude Graphics can put the attitude in your graphics. Along with the Dalton Do It Center located in Dalton, Pennsylvania, they have everything you need to keep your outside of your house looking good or your racetrack in trim. Along with Indian Neck Motors, they have what you need to keep the car running, or if you need it tuned up, they have it. But man, Al, it's been great to be back in the booth with you here tonight at Dover. I can't wait till we do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it in 1 week's time, Roger. But I want to thank you for driving up your production truck. And I think we'll have you down at the Virginia racetrack as well one more time at the Martinsville Speedway. Thank you very much for that. And I want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight and watching the All-American Pro Truck Series. We'll be in action 1 week from tonight for round number 4 for the Hot Dog 150 at the Martinsville Speedway. But until then, Roger, you'll keep it wheels down, and we'll hang out in turn 3.